So before I go around Burngreave today and show you the road changes and Burngreave in general, I just thought I'd show you these houses up here. These are decent houses, absolutely. So it must have been a very affluent area in the past, Burngreave, but when you look at the litter around and that now, it's absolutely shocking. So I'll now go down to Spittal Hill and start my journey around Burngreave. But I thought I'd just show you a positive side before I walk through Burngreave. So as you can see, I'm on the ring road here, and this is the old wicker. It's been cut in half. I think it's pretty much destroyed this area of Sheffield. What I want to do is show you what's actually happening in Burngreave at the moment with the road changes for this cars. Another look down the wicker, absolutely zero on it. The wicker herbalists started down here. There was 7 wicker herbalists around Sheffield and we haven't got one left. But you can just see completely destroyed this area of Sheffield. I'll really give you an idea as we walk up here under the wicker arches. Can't believe it, there's graffiti all over wicker arches. I won't dwell on this area too much, I just wanted to give you an insight as we walk into the wicker area. Now you'll find something in the description, you'll see the plans in the description of what they're doing on Burngreave. And it's a little bit confusing, but if I show you and then you can make your own decision. So we've got Savile Street down here. Where you see that tall building, that was our stores for HSBC. I used to drop all the equipment off there when I was working around the country. But it's now a modern building now called Savile House. I think the wall fell out in the storm back in the 90s. We've got the new Tesco over here, the big Tesco Extra. So you can see Savile House. It's a nightmare on roads around here. So we're coming on to Spittal Hill. And you can actually see the big Tesco Extra. But somewhere down here is actually a bus lane somewhere. Now the first part of it says that it shows you Burngreave Road, which we're sort of on at the moment, and what it says is that they're making it so that people can walk across the junctions much easier, but because it's a bus lane they won't be they won't be putting these walkways across, so I'm assuming they'll be putting zebra crossings across most of the junctions along here. But I'll show you the road layout and let you make your own mind up from the actual plans that council's actually got. So it's like everywhere, it does need some money spending, but they can be made into decent communities. As you can see, I've just been talking to the guys from Amy and they say they come up and litter pick up here. Well, I made a complaint to the council last week because as I walked through here, I parked up at Carlisle Street. As I walked up, there was just litter everywhere. So you've got the Tesco Extra up here, I think, or other shops associated with it. But it gives you a good feel for the area. But it's so confusing. I mean, why put a bus lane in? Now it's come back to 2 cars here. We've got 2 cars coming down here, 2 lanes coming down here, and then bus lane here. What's the point of all of that? So there you've got Tesco Extra up there. But I want to show you the before and after of all the things that's happening in Sheffield. And but they're just making life so confusing and difficult for people. So we've come up Spittal Hill now, and it's sort of flattened out. But I can imagine there's massive changes for this area, and I wonder if the people who are living here actually realise what changes are coming along. So this looks like a Sheffield Council building. I don't know what that's all about. We've got another shut down shop here. You can see the shops along here. Got some diverse shops. Rock Community Centre. Now, back in the 1980s, I remember this being a very West Caribbean type community. I'm not sure now what it is. It's very different to what it would have been in the past. So we've got a Christian centre here. We've even got a My Dentist. We've got one of those in Dunedin. But so this is sort of taking you down to the industrial area of Sheffield, down to the Carlisle Street area, as you can see along here. Got funeral directors here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you these other roads around here. So we've got a nice old cobbled street down here. But I think the only time I've been in here previously is back in the 1990s, and I was having some counselling with a local doctor. It weren't counselling, I'd been sent for meditation. I had to come up to Burngreave, and I can remember the lady saying to me, "Have you locked your car doors?" And I always lock my car doors anyway. I just want to show you this bit down here, because this bit down here is where there's some pubs, but they're actually all shut down, and it takes you down into Carlisle Street East. Well, there are still some businesses around here. You've got tiles and bathrooms. But I don't know if Burngreave was like Firth Park, where Firth Park was a really nice area. We've still got the Royal Oak pub open. So I'm just trying to give you a feel for this area. So we've got the grapes in here, and if you go down to here, that roundabout, you'll find some more pubs on there, and that'll take you to Carlisle Street East. So can you imagine back in the 1950s, 60s, 70s, it probably would have been pretty much white, working class British, and they'd have worked down there, and there'd have been pubs around here, so around a pint in on the way back from work. Now I reckon that was a pub, and I don't know if that was called, I've seen some name on it, thought it said Gower, so I wonder if that pub was called Gower, but that's on Evesham Street. But we're going to come back up to Burngreave Road, and what I'm doing is I'm looking for, that's I think Catherine Street. So this sort of gives you the idea down here. Yeah, I've got some parking here. I didn't feel comfortable leaving my car there. I parked it on East Street last time. So I'm trying to really kill two birds with one stone. One is show you Burngreave as it is, and the other one is looking at how the road layout's going to be. But to me, there doesn't look a lot of difference on the actual Burngreave road itself. Other than trying to make it easy for people to cross junctions. So we've got Gower Street here, we've got a bit of park area in the middle. But it does give you an idea. So we've come back onto Burngreave Road. And at some point I'll find Catherine Street and I'll take a turn off on Catherine Street. And what they're doing is they're cutting Nottingham Road in half, putting a raised sort of plinth and middle road, and probably making a right pig's ear of it. So does anybody actually come from around here? I mean, I'd be interested. Now this looks like an old bank. Oh no, it says vestry offices, so 1864. I can't imagine them knocking that down, can you? But you just never know, do you? So my understanding is Burngreave Road goes through to Pitsmoor. And that's funny, isn't it? Another bus has just come down. We get lots of buses coming down. They've got a little bit of a bus lane. It's not actually achieving a thing. Yeah, so Pitsmoor, I can't ever remember going there. And the only thing I know about Pitsmoor is that Derek Dooley, the prolific Wednesday scorer, came from Pitsmoor. So what I'm going to do is, once I get further up the hill, I'll restart the video. So you can see some of the housing around here, and it probably would have been quite nice housing in the past. I've got Catherine Road. I'm looking for Catherine Street, I think. Also I've got my bearings wrong. I'm sure it's on the left, not the right, so hopefully I'll find that in a minute. There's a nice looking church up here, so I'm just going to pop up to the church and have a look at that. What I thought was a church is not, it's actually a cemetery. So I might as well show it, yeah? It's got a window in it, just like the one I saw at Wentworth Church yesterday. Quite some window that for a cemetery, isn't it, really? Just question it. Like I said on my previous video, people think that they created frequencies, because that looks more like a church to me than a cemetery. So I'll get back down onto Burngreave Road. But it's actually quite nice on Burngreave Street. There's nothing wrong with these houses with a bit of TLC. Quite big, some of them. So I'll get back down onto Burngreave Road and pick back up down there. So as we're walking down, back down to Burngreave Road, I mean, some of these houses look very much like Firth Park. So they're quite large houses. And like I said, they've missed having maintenance for how many years. Nothing wrong with the houses, such they probably need new roofs on them, a lot of them. But why throw the baby out with the bath water? See other examples. Look quite nice up there. So I'm back on Burngreave Road, just giving you an idea of what it's like around here. Hopefully I'll just find Catherine Street up there, but we've got a bus lane again, so they put another bus lane in. We've got some speed cameras up here as well. I wonder if they actually catch anybody. So just here we've got the Catholic Church. But I didn't realise how big Burngreave was, but it's quite a steep climb after Pitsmoor. I mean, I don't know if that was an old pub. I'm hoping just up here on the left is Catherine Street. So at this point I'm on Burngreave Road, but I'm actually at Pitsmoor. So I've come right up the hill. Now somehow we've got to find out where Nottingham Street and Catherine Street is. So you can see here it says Pitsmoor Methodist Church. So hopefully if I go up here somewhere I'll be able to find Catherine Street. So when I find Nottingham Street I'll be back with you. So I found Nottingham Street. I've just cut through the back, so I was nearly in Pitsmoor, or I was in Pitsmoor. So that's Nottingham Street. There's not even any traffic on here. So I'm going to go along Nottingham Street and see if I can find the junction with Catherine Street, and then hopefully I can show you where they're going to just block the road off. So I've got another church here. It's actually in Pitsmoor, so it's Christ Church in Pitsmoor. Another beautiful church. Well, let's see if we can find the junction with Catherine Street up here. There's very little traffic up here. And it's nice and quiet, really. So I think what you've got is, originally it would have been working class and sort of middle class houses. A nice walk down into town. So now we're coming down to where I think the junction's going to be. And you can see all these stupid policemen in the middle of the road. So we've got local park there. It says Nottingham Cliff Park. Well, I think the junction's just going to be down here. But it looks nothing like the map I've actually seen. Yeah, so I can see Rock Street. Here. I think that's Rock Street there as well. We'll have a look. Catherine Street's there. So, right here, I'm just trying to look where Nottingham Street carries on. So I reckon I'm on Nottingham Street here as well, I think. But you can see there's no cars around here. Why block the road off in the middle? So you've got if you look at the plan, Rock Street, Catherine Street. I think this is Nottingham Street, sorry, and that's Nottingham Street, and then you've got Rock Street there. So right about here, they're going to raise the road between there and there, so you're basically blocked off. You can't come through these roads, you've got to go the long way around on it all. Absolute madness. So let's have a walk down here. Well, I'm not going to bother walking down here. I'm just going to say that somewhere in the middle of this area here, they're just going to raise the road up and they're going to block Nottingham Street in half, and whether you can get from Rock Street and Catherine Street through, I don't know, or if you've got to go the long way around. So what they're actually doing is actually creating more emissions by doing all this absolute stupidness. As you can see, there's no traffic coming through, there's no reason to block it off. So that's it, that's just a quick insight into Burngreave, the road changes. Please go into the description and then you can actually have a look at the actual road plan for Burngreave and this particular area. So that's it, end of video.